Hello everyone, how are you? So welcome to the side note part 2. As you can see, I changed my hair, so I didn't shoot the side note the same day because the light was going low and exactly as it's doing today. But I don't really know, I think it's the cloud that is doing this. But anyway, let's make it quick. So what happened with my teachers? It happened a lot. It's been 2 weeks, and actually right now we are done with all the lectures. We only gonna have them in small activities, labos. So maybe it's gonna be funnier, or maybe they will just calm down and stop doing their authority shit. I don't know. So for today, I'm just gonna read a little bit for you. I took note of all the sentences they said, like something that could be very mean for the two bad guys of the group, or something that would be very, very funny for the two others, and for the last one, because if you have watched the Agati video that I did last week, the side note I did last week, like the part 1 about my horrible flight experience that I have because of my curse. You can check it out if you want to. I will put something, I guess I will put the link below. So basically I have a new English class with a tutor from America. She's from California especially. She's hilarious, I swear, hilarious. So I will present her like quickly at the end. So as for now, let's get into it. So we just as a reminder, so we have 4 superheroes. I have 4 very special teachers this year. So first of all, I have the god of communication, who is the one who he knows everything. We are shit, okay, and he's gonna let us know that maybe we won't have any future in this job, in this area that we are studying. Super motivated. That's why we have been selected to come here, right? Anyway, number 2, the negative girl. That girl who is giving you at 9 a.m. in the morning very depressing example, one after one, or she's acting like she knows everything, that we're just young and she's so over there. But actually, we discover something in the last class. So I think that could explain her attitude. Then we are the number 3, the story man. The story man is, we haven't got him a lot because it's like special classes, it's back like just for help class. So I think I won't have it for a while now. So I don't know, maybe I think the American girl is going to take his place in the in the foursome that we have here. But yeah, he still had done a little bit of his own thing of telling stories or talking way too much when we don't have time. He did that last time, so I'm gonna let you know what it was about. And finally, I'm sorry, I'm just touching my nose a lot. It's just because it's getting colder. The weather is a bit weird these days, like hot, cold. So I have like a fake cold. I don't like all the symptoms of a cold, but nothing. So basically, I don't know how to heal that. Anyway, apart from that, small parenthesis. And the fourth person, my favorites, my teacher, who is just so funny without even knowing. I think he's not even trying. He's just saying stuff that will make us laugh, and we just love him because his class is so cool. So yeah, I'm just gonna give you a few examples of what I have and keep them for later videos, because since I'm not going to have them a lot anymore, let's save some stories for later, okay? So basically, we're gonna start today with, I have so many because in each class I'm just writing down everything they're saying. So we're gonna start with, we're gonna start with the god of communication. Basically, it's easy. What he did was, he's a teacher. He's just a teacher teaching us communication and all the jobs that we can have in communications, that while we're here, basically. And everything was okay. The class was very quiet because it started the class being like, guys, if you don't know your shit, just get out. Or basically, if 2 person doesn't know, then it's going to be exam right now for everyone. So the kind of thing will make you read the lesson just before going there. At least you just have to use that student technique. If you don't know it, let me tell you, but you should know. Basically, you just learning one stop that you open definition, an example, something, and when you get in the class, you raise your hands and you talk to him, even though it can be very risky, but at the end you say something that he taught you last time. So you think that you actually read the lesson, but you just didn't understand quite well the points. So he will explain again to you. So that's the technique. So you will think that we are actually studying, we just don't really understand. So you're safe, at least you are safe, and if one or two other people are doing the same, that's it. We're all good, and there's no exam for the whole class. The small tricks, I'm sure they know, but at least we are making it effort to read what we were writing last time. So could they really say something bad about us? No, it's actually a pretty good thing, right? I don't know. Just a technique, just a trick. So yeah, basically he did something very easy last time. Everything was going well, and then he was talking about like what kind of job we can do with this degree. And then he talked to someone and he'd be like, yeah, obviously you will be able to do this kind of job once you're going to change your hair color. And I was like, how dare you, criticize somebody's style? I mean, first, we are unique. It's the only time, maybe the last time in our life, where we will be able to do whatever we want when it comes to style, fashion, hair, and whatever. So first, don't criticize somebody. And for me, it's kind of disrespectful. And he didn't say that in a very laughing and funny way. It was more like, yeah, you're gonna do that when you're gonna change the shit that you have on your hair. And I was like, what? Why are you so mean suddenly? And second thing, imagine that guy want to, because we're learning communication, he want to work in the communication, but in the fashion industry. It would be cool to have somebody like that. Actually, people would like to have, somebody who understands fashion, who is different, so he will know how to talk to people who love fashion, and because fashion is all about being different and having our own style, So basically, I didn't really get his point, and he was kind of mean, very disrespectful. So it just reminded me how much I didn't like him. I don't want to talk to him. No interaction, because when you start, because that guy actually raised his hand to ask a question, so that's how risky it is. Then he's gonna remember you, and if there is something bad, you're gonna be the bait in this class, okay? The prey for this class. So definitely not a good one. We're still not good. Anyway, and then of course now we're not going to have it as for lectures, but we're going to have it in labos. And he was like, you know what, I know you have so many stuff to do, but I'm going to give you one thing more. And it's not just like a file or something, like a paper to give him back. It's a fucking 10 pages homework on one organization. And apart from that, we have to make a speech of 15 minutes. And I'm like, guys, you know that we have so many things to do. His subject, he started teaching us 2 subjects. One of them, the one he gave us the homework for, is not even that important if you weight the subject among all of the others. So it's like, why are you giving her so much work to do for something that doesn't even matter that much in the overall degree? I mean, I don't get it. You just want to show that he is the one, he's the god. I don't know his point. Just, guys, let me know what you think about this guy that you don't even know. That was for the first one, for the god of communication. Now, let's get for the second one that we don't like, that I don't like personally. The negative one. That negative, beautiful girl who I don't know what happened, who started a few weeks ago to be kind of in a good mood. So we're like, oh, all good. She was giving us a very funny example. For example, I learned that in French we used to say how are you, in a way that, oh, how you doing, basically. And this sentence basically is coming from the past, from the, I think, 18th century. And it was a sentence used by doctors, by all the doctors, to ask their patient if they went to the toilet and how was it, and not for the for the big affair in the toilet. So, and how was it? It was a question to tell you, oh, have you been to the toilet? Because if you haven't been, I mean that you have a problem, a digestive problem that was kind of very common at this time. So I learned that, and it was kind of funny because she was like, yeah, now you're just saying how are you every day, but I guess you're not asking us if you have been to the toilet or not. Yeah, I mean oh, thanks for the knowledge. It was so funny. So she started to give example of that, very more funny, much more funnier and positive. So I was like, oh, that's cool. She's a good mood now. I won't have to say anything negative about her. But guess what? Of course not. She's still herself. So basically the last thing that she did, that was kind of pretty, this was mean, but at the same time we finally understand why she's the negative one, because she's bipolar. I think that's, we kind of agree on this point at the end of the class. She's a bipolar. Basically, she come to class and she was like, okay guys, so for the next classes we're just gonna be in groups and whatever, so I'm gonna give you homework to do, something that you like to do, you know, like you choose a topic, whatever, and yeah, you're just gonna have to make to give me like a homework, a paper homework on that, and then to do a small presentation, but it will be before holiday. But we have 2 holidays, so basically we're like, which one? But and she was like, okay, so anyway, we'll talk about this later. Now we're in class. Do you have any question about the last class? And a girl, as soon as she finished her sentence, because she didn't let us time to actually ask questions, the girl next to me raised her hand and she was like, okay, so but for the homework, what holiday which holiday are you talking about? And she was like, I'm not even exaggerating, she went mad. She was mad and she was like, no, I won't answer this question because it's not related to the topic. I said, what do you have question about the last class? You have to follow. And she was so mad. She was like, stop asking questions that are not relating to the story. We're not here for that. Okay, I will tell more about it later when we're in groups. Her tone was so strict and I was like, we all look at each other like, is she crazy? Like a second later she was telling us top information with a smile, and now she's like, she went so mad like that. She has a problem. And the whole class she was just like, and you know, that very negative and mean face. She tried to be funny at one point, but at the end just like, she wouldn't be funny about something, but like how people are in prison, for example. Yeah, that's a kind of example she's giving. And then when we start to laugh about it, okay, so stop, guy, calm down. She's already doing this, calm down, stop talking. What? We're not cow, we're not animals. Girl, you're gonna calm down. You're gonna calm down. You're gonna like, I know she's a teacher, but this is way too much. I mean, that's not a teacher-student relationship. All that we want is just leave that fucking class or make her leave, you know? I mean, like, we hate everything that she said. She's not making the topic interesting, even though it's an interesting topic. But with her, it's just like, we're just so done after 5 minutes, just looking at the clock. It's time. That's crazy. I don't know what's happening in her life, but I'm sure that even the other, you know, teacher must be like very pissed with her, because she just tell a teacher to get out of the class, like, because this was her class for like the past Mondays. And I'm like, yeah, but there's a way to say it. You cannot just say, oh, this is my class, can you just fucking get the fuck out of here? I'm like, no, that's not a way to talk to people. Anyway, you know, I'm happy that we're not going to have her for a while, but next year we're gonna have her to prepare our internship, professional internship. I'm scared. I'm really scared. Anyway, that was for Miss Negative. Then, the third one, now we're gonna go into the good side of the teachers. I'm gonna talk to you about the story man. So basically, we had a class with him, and he has to test us on the class to know if we need more, you know, more classes or not. And he came to, and he's a guy who does not understand actually the purpose of this class. You know, he's just like, they told me to do that, to teach you this, but I don't even know why. So I was like, thank you, now I'm feeling so motivated to learn that. Anyway, so he came and he was like, okay, so this weekend I finally find some question to ask you for the test, which is not like a credit test, it's just to know a little bit of our level. So he was like, I finally found the questions. Basically, I found the question when I was on my bike going home, and I was like, I don't need that details. Okay, like, okay, if you want, but while you find the question, you're gonna ask us on your bike for a test that you don't even know what it's for, because it said to us, I mean, okay, so I made a test for you, but I don't know what it's for. I don't know what it's supposed to measure. I mean, it's the first time that I'm doing this. And, you know, I asked some of my colleagues, but they don't even know themselves. So they were just telling me like, oh yeah, that's a good question, I think. That's the kind of class I'm in. I mean, like, that's so reassuring. We don't know what we're doing. We're testing on things that they don't even know what it's for, what they're testing us for. I mean, like, are you kidding me? That's why you're like wasting all my afternoon that I have to finish at 6 fucking p.m. every single week because of classes that you don't even know what it's for. I don't want to be dramatic, but I mean, there's a problem somewhere. So yeah, basically we did that. Then he was telling us the story about when he was a movie that he thought about a sociologist, like a very important person in the history. And the main point, he was like, you should really go see that story. Why? That movie. Why? Because the love story between the wife and the friend of the main character, which is what the story was about, the main character life. It's a beautiful, that woman was amazing, was incredible. It's such a beautiful story. Like, I mean, this woman was amazing. Their relationship was so emotional. I mean, and he spent like 10 minutes talking, like making like a teaser, like, to, you should watch it because the love story is amazing. And I was like, well, that's not really the point of this class. Well, that's nice to have a teacher advising you to watch a movie just for the love story, which is not related to the topic anyway. But at least he loved it. But that's like that kind of teacher. And the first time you're listening to this, oh yeah, love story, especially me, that's so nice, I want to watch the movie. And then you keep talking, and you're just starting to look at the clock, and you're like, are you really going to talk about how much you love that love story for like 10 minutes? And then after you will check the time and be like, fuck, we're late, we only have 45 minutes and 6 topic to go through. I think I'm not going to make it. Yeah, I agree. I think you're not going to make it because you're talking way too much. It's so interesting and funny, but this guy, oh my god, every time we're starting class, he's like, okay, that's what we have to do today. We all know that we're not going to do half of it. But that's okay. I mean, like, as long as the test, this class is not really important in the overall thing, I'm done. I'm fine with it. I mean, like, you just talk. This guy, if this guy was making the class of the girl, the negative one, it would be amazing. I'm not sure we're going to do all the chapters, but at least we'll understand everything because it would be amazing. I swear. So yeah, that was a few things that happened with him. I'm just keeping the rest for later. And finally, the favorite one, my lovely favorite teacher. Oh my god, this teacher, it's amazing. I just have, for all of them, I have like a few, like, 1 page or half a page. For him, I have fucking so many sentences that he said to us that are so funny. I'm just going to start with the beginning. I'm just going to read maybe 5 but I'm going to explain to you what happened, and then we'll be done for today's video. So basically, first class, he doesn't know what the topic is about, what the subject is about, but I mean the title of the subject, the class anyway. He just like, showing a slide, and he was like, oh, so because we don't have much classes together, I made something very light, in terms of like, the what he's going to talk about. And then you see a fucking slide with, the small sentences, so much quotations and everything. And I'm like, okay, that is supposed to be a light slide. And I was like, well, that's promising. And I was like, that's the kind of thing that teacher, especially researcher, always do at uni. They're like, okay, so I'm just going to make a small introduction. After 10 fucking classes, he's like, and that's what the end of the introduction. I'm like, and that was supposed to be a small introduction. I'm scared for the rest. So basically, you need 10 years to finish 1 chapter. And I was like, well, that's going to be a funny class. And then we're like starting to write like crazy. Oh my god, we have to write up the slides because there were so many things. And he was like, you know what, I think that's not a good idea to write down everything. And I was like, so why did you put all of those words and sentences on the slides? And I was like, that guy is like, he's still a joke. But it was so funny. I like that attitude. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna like him. That's when I started to like him. And then, like, basically what happened, it happened in the first 20 minutes of the class. He read down, explained, the slides, and at the end he was like, oh, please, don't write down what is over there. He's just for me. Like, basically, he's putting his own notes on the side that we're supposed to copy, but not really copy because he thinks that it's not a good idea. Okay, well, that's a concept, that's a concept. Not judging. Then he started to explain stuff, and he was like, okay, so the other day I was reading something, and then I love the way he's like actually making fun of himself. He was like, the other day I was reading something. Well, the other day, it's been 2 years that I've been using the same example, but yeah, let's say the other day. And I was like, I love him. Oh my god, that's so funny. At least he's honest, you know. Then he was like, he wrote something, a quotation, and he started to read the quotation. He was like, actually, I don't really know what it means. So we're just gonna pass through that one. You made the slides, right? You're the teacher. You prepared this class for us. You don't know what's the quotation for, why you put this on the slides. So promising for the rest. I swear, I loved it. I was like, oh, well, we're going to go with this teacher. Then, he was like, he has a question to a student. The student answered, and the way he answered was like, no, that's the exact opposite. Like, if this guy was like saying nonsense, he felt like, no, that's completely the opposite. Why are you talking shit? You know what? Just shut up. That's the way he said that. I was done. But even that guy didn't find it like he would fail with the god of communication. But with him, he was like, of course he had to answer something like that. But he said that in a way that is so like obvious. Like, why are you talking shit, boy? And I'm like, yeah, because he's trying. That's what students do with teachers in class to learn, you know. Oh my god, I was so done. I cannot like read everything, but now, for example, the last thing, he was talking about video games, like how young people love to play video games, and he was like describing the perfect gamer, and he was like, okay, so basically, you know, you have a young guy playing video games all day in his room, like eating pizza, and you know, like not showering for days, like the typical man. And I was like, we're looking at each other like, not showering for days. That's how a geek is supposed to be. Well, I will not see my friend the same way, because I have few friends who love video games and were geeks. Now if you smell something weird in their room, you understand why. So yeah, that's just a few bits of everything that he could say in a class. So I'm gonna keep the rest for another time, and yeah, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed, and just a small teaser, the girl is gonna replace the story man. It's gonna be the American girl. Amazing. I recorded the first 10 minutes she did in class because she's just so crazy, talking about her cats and kids all the time, and just making funny jokes, you know, like, but real life jokes. She's hilarious. She should be a comic, a humorist. She shouldn't be like a teacher. I mean, I love her. So I will see if I can put a small part of her class, because I think I'm gonna start to record her more often. It's way too funny to actually say it. You need to hear it by yourself. So yeah, that's it for today. I'm sorry if in this side note still have makeup on, even though it's supposed to be casual and, you know, makeup free, but I'm so afraid that the light's gonna go down. I just came back from class, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do it. Okay, so yeah, that's it, and I hope you have a great week. See you next time. Bye. So many. Can't wait to tell the others. So cold here.